Good morning from south of Portland in a campground. It's just so beautiful, even though there's like 60 spots here, which is the biggest I've been to. Maybe ever, I don't know. I have here, before we get started, I have my own little, alcove, is that a word? I'm fully surrounded by greenery, and given that I'll be gone for training each day, it's really early, that's why I'm whispering, because there's other campsites nearby. Given that I'll be gone during the day for training, and I'll only be here right like in the early morning and later in the evening, it's nice knowing the camp host is the next spot over. No one's gonna mess with my crap, which is love. Not that I'm worried about that, because camper etiquette, it's a cool club to be in. Everyone's like, you kind of watch out for each other. That's what a club is, whatever club you're in. So, but they're like, yeah, they're always riding around on their cart. They make passes by here like nonstop. So it's like not a thing at all. So I went ahead and set up camp really fast last night. I put up my hammock. Bing! Look, first campsite with water and electrical. I'm gonna save so much money on like water. It's drinkable too. And set up my camp tent, and I even strung up some lights since I'll be here for 5 nights. I'm getting cozy. And I pulled out my wood tarp. I got a couple chairs around the campfire. I got another chair. Look at this. With built-in rock footstools of various heights, depending on how much elevation I need in my little swollen legs. Big swollen legs. So anyway, this is a reflection on lesson 162 in A Course in Miracles. I am as God created me. First of all, look how tall those trees are. I have a whole canopy because it gets drizzly in Portland, but the forecast looks amazing. There's like no rain in the forecast. Maybe like 4% one day, which is like still 0. But who knows? So lesson 162, I am as God created me. It's as simple as that. It just says, keep repeating to yourself, I am as God created me. There are no thoughts necessary beyond this one to come into understanding that and believing it and just knowing it. So whatever you take God to be, I just take it as this, like, it's just God, as the creation force and the creation energy of the universe. I'm a tickle. And like, how powerful is something that creates? It's powerful. So yeah, I think I'm very much awestruck by the idea of God. Just think of God and it's like, whoa, powerful. And also I believe that God is within each of us. Whoa. And we are all powerful. So I think of I am as God created me is coming into acceptance for all that you are. All of it. And isn't it wonderful how unique you are? What if we were all the same? Gross. Boring. Even twins, even identical twins are so different. And isn't that beautiful? Whoa, I've thought about this before, but it just hit me again. Like, what if identical twins, if you believe in the idea that you choose what kind of life you're going to have, what family you're born into, some of the circumstances, whatever. And you're like, this life I want to be an identical twin because I'd love to play with and learn from and grow from and grapple with this idea of identity being wrapped up in a unique physical appearance. Wouldn't that be fun in some lifetime to be like, what do I want to do next? Let's be a twin. I think that's in my future. This ain't my first go around, and it ain't my last go around. And I feel like that would be really interesting. And if you're an identical twin, let me know what you think about those thoughts. First of all, is it offensive? I apologize. I'm just fascinated by everything. And also, I have come to be sensitive to the way my mind works is, I think, sometimes offensive to people. Because I ask questions in a very bluntly curious way a lot of times. Before I reflect on how someone might perceive it other than sincere curiosity. Because I think of sincere curiosity as one of the most wonderful things ever. And I'm so grateful that I have it. So when I think of something as wonderful, I don't pause even a fraction of a second to think that it might be offensive. And yet, I have a feeling in the past, very specific instances that I can't call to mind, but I've known it and I felt it, where I think I've offended people by just asking, like, what's it like? So, identical twins, what's it like grappling with the idea of your identity being so intertwined with a unique physical identity? What are you learning from it? How are you growing from it? I want to know. There aren't so many people subscribed to this whole little channel yet. So the percentage of identical twins being subscribed and is small, I'm sure, if non-existent. And the percentage of identical twins who aren't offended or are and actually want to reply to this or the comment are probably even way smaller. But someday, if there are more subscribers who go back in the archives and watch this, reach out. I'll still be curious until my next go around when I come back as my own identical twin. How did I get on this topic? So, you know why I think I'm so awake? I'll show you. I'll show you what I did. It's confession time. Watch, look at this. Brown oatmeal. You know what the brown is? Instant Folgers. I was like, I did not bring any seasonings besides like this old salt and pepper I've had in my camp gear for like years. And I'm not putting that in oatmeal. And I'm like, I know what I have. I have instant coffee. That'll be fun. It is bitter. And then I'm like, ooh, I have agave nectar. That'll counteract the bitter. No, didn't bring it. Meant to. What I did have was like, I had these weird packets of stevia from my studio for my clients. I don't use it. So I'm like, I don't like stevia, but I packed it for a reason with my instant stuff. And I'm like, I'll put that in there. No, made it worse. But I'm determined to finish it because I need some sustenance. I'm going into this training this morning. Touch skills for trauma therapists. So I need to be fully present. Maybe a little less caffeinated, but I am going to finish this. So that's this lesson. I am as God created me, which was mostly not about the lesson, but it's so simple. Just it's all about acceptance for who you really are, your unique self. Actually, it was a little bit related. What is your unique self, and are you accepting of it in all of your facets? How can we come into more acceptance? our uniqueness. I think when we can, you know what? It's not even about judging each other. It's about feeling judged that keeps us ashamed of our uniqueness. And the feeling judged is just a thought, and it's false. It's an illusion. Most people are just thinking about themselves. You know what? I say this with all love and non-offensiveness. No one's thinking about you more than you. Except right now I am, and I love you. I didn't want to end on such on the surface, seemingly offensive thing to say. But you know what I mean, right? We're all just so caught up in our own dramas and our own self-consciousness. That's what I mean by no one's thinking about us more than us. So the feeling of feeling judged and not accepted for who we uniquely are is all a thought in our own head, and it's false. And that's not what that other person is thinking. Who knows what the hell they're thinking? It's none of your business. Beautifully none of your business. So I think about that too, and it's so liberating. And it helps me personally show up more authentically with people in my uniqueness and be like, hey, do you want some of this weird? Have some. Ugh, get it all over you. And I love when people get their weird all over me. Oh, I love it so much. I'm just like, give me more. So I am as God created me. That's this can of worms that it opened, trying to just bask in my weirdness, you know. I love it. I just want to cry. Look, glistens. I'm glistening. Be weird, be unique. That's how God created us, because we are each a unique fractal of the whole, reflecting each other so that we can learn who we are by mirroring those parts of ourselves that we get self-conscious about, and then we're like, ooh, what's that all about? And then you just come to accept it and love it. So that's what I got for lesson 160, whatever, 162. We are as God created us. Have a wonderful day.